Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to the 7th installment of a series called Galaxies. Tonight's topic will be Mars, destruction, rehabilitation and development, a haven for watery people. Mars, part of our solar system, was home to the Lyrian civilization of 60 million individuals who took refuge here, colonizing their home planet. Their pursuers, the Reptilians and the Greys, a divided group of Earthlings, subjugated them. The information I are about to give you comes to me from purely extraterrestrial sources and differs significantly from official information about Earth. So much so that many consider it science fiction. I can't blame them, because this information has been relayed to me by extraterrestrial crew members since mid-2016. Mars was a planet that was home to the Lyrian planetary civilization of 60 million individuals who took refuge here and colonizing their home planet. They ran away in small groups to survive, but their pursuers caught up with them. They took refuge in various star systems, some of them on Mars. What followed was a series of violent wars between the Galactic Federation and the Dracoreptilian colonists, leading to the destruction of Mars and the complete extermination of the Lyrians, which were then carried out by the three races, who then divided and took possession of Mars. Current living conditions on Mars. The air on Mars is breathable for Earthlings, but contains less oxygen than on Earth, about the same as at high altitudes of 4,000 to 5,000 meters. Visits are possible, but they are usually limited in time and sometimes require the use of breathing apparatus. More, altitude affects the body mainly because of the reduced proportion of oxygen in the air inhaled. However, people who have lived at high altitudes for generations, such as llamas or Sherpas, tolerate it well because they have more red blood cells, which increases their endurance, since it is the red blood cells that are responsible for transporting oxygen. The surface of Mars consists of desert, some forested areas, and garigue in most of its area. There are lakes and rivers. This was confirmed in 2018 by a team of Earth scientists who discovered a large salt lake 20 kilometers in diameter below the surface of the South Pole, followed by 3 more lakes elsewhere. This means that there is much more water on Mars than originally thought. According to my contacts, some of the lakes have dried up, others contain liquid water or are inside. There is a lot of wildlife, but the numbers are small compared to the animals that existed before the wars on Mars and on Tiamat. Volcanic activity on Mars is high, and there are many earthquakes. There are many ruins everywhere, especially in the most significant locations corresponding to cities. There are also many pyramids that were used as energy centers, including the 5-sided pyramid we see in the Sidonia area, near the so-called face. It is called D&amp, M after the initials of Vincent de Piero and Gregoria Molinard, who discovered it. These pyramids are also part of the destroyed civilization during the Great War. On July 25, 1976, the Viking 1 satellite took a picture of the face of Mars. If scientists see in it the usual plays of light and shadow on the terrain, it is an eroded structure that also belongs to a destroyed civilization. There are also satellites of several races, including the human faction from Earth. The fact is that Mars has no moon because Phobos and Deimos are extraterrestrial bases, biosphere ships shaped like rocks. The planet Mars is divided into 3 human sectors: reptiles, mantis, and masters. The 3 sectors are the same size and consist mostly of underground bases. The living areas for the 3 races are separated by borders similar to those separating North Korea and South Korea, the most militarized area of the world, with kilometer-long strips, mines and living robots with plasma machine guns, electrified with barbed wire and turrets with motion sensors and more. One of the 3 sectors is occupied by a separate Earth faction of the program controlled by the Dracoreptilians, the second by the Mantis from Vodialu, and the third by the Masters or Greys. All 3 groups are armed and control the planet in their own way. Let us now examine these 3 sectors. The Dracoreptilian-controlled sector uses Earthlings and their families as biological containers. the Vodialo sector of the Mantis, and the third sector controlled by the Wizards, or Greys. All three groups have militarized a fairly large portion of the planet. Translated with deepl.com free version.